ordered pair. Let's say it is at -2 and 3, and this is my endpoint A, and I have another ordered pair at 4 and 7, and this is my midpoint. What's my endpoint going to be at B? Knowing that from point A to B, M is the midpoint, and that happens.
That would be.
So think about it. In order for those 2 points to be the same, these values, this is the halfway spot of -2 and what number?
10, 11. 10, 11.
7 is the halfway point of 3 and what number?
11.
Well, let's go back again. Going from -2 to 4, did you go up or did you go down?
Up 6.
We went up 6. So let's try this again. How much is 6 more than 4?
10, 11.
Going from 3 to 7, up or down? How many?
4. 11.
4 more than 7. There's your missing endpoint. That's how you find a missing endpoint. What happens here is that they will give you a point and a midpoint in terms of ordered pairs. They're going to ask you to find what's the missing endpoint. Well, obviously we could go through and use a whole heck of a lot of algebra, or we can count. What would you rather do? I'd rather count. It's so much easier. Let me show you another one.
Algebra is remember.
So if this is point A, this is my midpoint. What's point B? We'll do the same thing. My point A starts at 4, -6. My midpoint is at -7 and 0. Where is my last point located?
-18.
Well, let's figure this out. I don't know off the top of my head. I might have to trust you guys. So we asked these questions. From 4 to -7, do you go up or do you go down? How many?
11.
What's 11 less than -7?
-18.
Going from -6 to 0, up or down?
Up 6.
What's 6 more than 0?
6.
Otherwise, you would have to do this. The x midpoint is equal to the first x plus the second x divided by 2. In this case, that would look like this. -7 equals 4 plus x over 2. Would you rather do that? Wouldn't it be much easier just to count? There's no reason to do the extra work. And what's crazy is that textbooks don't do that. They try to force you to do all the algebra. But yet, if you think about it, knowing what a midpoint is, it being the halfway point of the averages of your x values, the averages of the y values, knowing what that means by being halfway there, all you have to do is count, because it's got to be the same amount on both sides for it in order to be balanced. That's how this stuff works. Yes, sir.
But isn't math supposed to be fun? I love to do algebra.
Then you do the algebra then. All right, so find the mid. Oh, this is the midpoint. Let's see. So the midpoint of AB is M at 5 and 8. The endpoint A is at 2 and -3. What's the other endpoint? Same basic idea. This is the kind of language that they use in the problems in the books, in worksheets and things like that. It'll ask you to find the missing endpoint. If you know that the segment is AB and M is the midpoint. So if A is your endpoint at 2, -3, M is your midpoint at 5, 8. All we do is just work with the x values and then work with the y values. So from 2 to 5, are you going up or down? How many? 3. What's 3 more than 5? 8. You know what you did? Since this came first, you thought that was the endpoint A. That's why you said -1. So be careful when you read through here. So this would be at 8. And then from -3 to 8, do you go up or down? How many? What's 11 more than 8? Done. You want? Yes, sir. And I'm not lying to you that the book tries to force you to do the algebra. What's the point? Get it? Point. No, guys. A lot of times in a lot of the classes that I teach, basically in all the classes that I teach, there's always going to be some way, some non-algorithmic way of solving a problem, just by using logic. And what I mean by algorithmic, what that means is that when you're talking about an algorithm is a specific set way to solve a problem. So if you're solving for x, you use inverse operations. There's a specific order in which you do that. With these things, instead of doing this specific algorithm, a lot of times there's shortcuts. And shortcuts are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the idea that it works. Okay? That's why I like showing you guys these things, because I think it's kind of cool to be able to do that. Find the missing endpoint if AC, if the midpoint is now B. We have -12 and 8 for one endpoint, 4 and 0 for a midpoint. What's left? Good. -12 and 4, up or down? Do we go up the ladder or down the ladder? Up. How many up? What's 16 more than 4?
20.
So we're at 20. 8 to 0. Up or down?
-8.
What's 8 less than 0?
-8.
Pretty simple, isn't it? Pretty simple. Now let's see, what's the other thing what do we have? We only have, 20 minutes or so? Okay. We'll save distance formula for tomorrow. All right? Because that way, we could start a little bit, but it's just, by the time we get through like one example, we'd be running out of time here. Let me give you guys a couple of these to look at for this evening, and then we'll do distance formula stuff with this tomorrow, which I know that you guys have all done distance formula before in the past with the ordered pairs. I know you've seen it, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But let's see here. Yes, please. Let's do this. On the very next, it's on the same section, so it's still section 1.3. It's on the next page over, it's on page 20. I'd like you guys to do numbers 25 through 30, all of them. There's 6 of them, just like this. And I guarantee if you pop open your book right now or on the computer, or even if I pull this up here, you'll probably be done before you walk out this store. Okay? Does that work?
Yeah.
We'll do distance formula stuff tomorrow. Guys, if you have not gotten one of these calculators, this is going to be your best friend in the whole wide world tomorrow because it takes square roots. Okay? It takes square roots. Make sure you get one of those. If you give me a second, if you don't have your Chromebooks, I'll pull these problems up.
What did it say, the 15th?
No, today is the 15th, sorry.
Are you going to the game tomorrow?
I think we are. I'm not sure yet, though. We're playing it by ear because we don't know if it's going to rain. And it's sitting outside in the rain with 2 small kids usually isn't very fun.
Right. If it does get canceled to the next day, would it be here?
I don't know.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not.
Here's those 6 problems for you guys if you want to just look up here, take a picture or whatever, if you just want to work through them real quick.